Nora Fatehi, it is a pleasure to have you on BBC Asian Network. How are you?
I'm doing amazing. How are you?
I'm really well. I'm all the better for seeing you. I'm all the better for hearing Snake as well. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
This is a very exciting time because you've done collaborations before. I would say this is arguably the biggest so far. Would you agree?
It definitely is. This would be my first mainstream with an American artist. Yeah.
So then let me ask you, like, on a real level, how are you really feeling right now?
Oh my God. If I could swear on the show, it would describe to the T what I'm feeling. I am really nervous. I've not eaten proper food in like 2-3 days.
Why?
I don't know, because it is a big one for me. Like, in the end of the day, I've been hustling with my independent singing career for like 4 or 5 years now, you know, with Pipita, Arabic Dilbar, Dirty Little Secret with Zach Knight. I did all this on my own. And then, you know, after the World Cup, when I sang the anthem, I got, you know, a record deal with Warner. And then we released Nora a couple of months ago, which we helped promote. These projects as a singer they're all my babies. When I do my Bollywood stuff, and it's like with T-series, or it's with a movie, or with, you know, like a Karan Aujla or a Honey or Badshah, I'm just performing. You know, I'm just like the face of it. But when I have to sing the song and I have to produce the music videos, there's a level of stress that comes with it. And you really want it to work. And it's really hard for an actor to be able to lead more than one lane in their career. So it's hard for someone to be able to be an actor, be a performer, be a singer, and be successful at it. So I'm really trying to break the barriers. I'm really trying to cross over. I'm really trying to, you know, I'm very ambitious. You know that, Haroon. We've had so many conversations. And I go all out for my projects. And I really hope the fans like it. And I'm trying something new with the music stuff.
I think it's so admirable that you have the courage to venture into an industry and a profession after already being successful at something else. And, you know, quite often we as human beings, we chase success, we chase validation. And once we get that, we want to hold on to it in any which way.
For sure.
So then to put yourself in a situation where you're almost starting afresh with music and singing and putting yourself on this global platform, it takes a lot of courage. How do you kind of maneuver that space? And how do you convince yourself that you can succeed once again?
Well, you know what? I always had that on my mind from day one. Even when I was hustling through Bollywood and, you know, those struggle days, I always said, I'm never going to be doing one thing. I'm never going to be allowing anyone to typecast me and stereotype me. And rightly so. I feel like most artists are multidimensional. Most artists have so many skills, so many talents, and that's the best part of being an artist. You can express your way. You can express yourself in different ways. And I knew I was into music, I was into dance, I was into acting. But you know what happens with the industry? When you're good at one thing, they just want you to do that one thing repetitively. And I never understood that because I know audience get bored easily. So why do you want to show them the same thing over and over again? Eventually they're gonna get bored of you, and your relevancy is gonna dip down, and there's gonna be someone else who's gonna take your place. And when you actually show your cards and you show them what you're good at, the same thing over and over again, they're gonna go and manufacture someone just like you who does exactly what you do to replace you after 2-3 years. So I was not about to let anyone you know my moves. So we're playing chess, not checkers, you know. So I'm like, okay, great. Now, you know, this dancing thing, it's great. I, you know, kind of broke the mold of how songs are done in Bollywood. And I know that they're going to try and make someone else who can do that too. And before anyone tries to replace me, let's pivot, you know, and do something else at the same time. And just kind of like surprise people.
Is that because you saw yourself as somebody's replacement when you started in Bollywood? Like, you could see there were women before you who were known for their dances who were being pushed out. Like, that's the reality of the cycle almost, isn't it?
It definitely is the reality of the cycle. The only thing is, in hindsight, yes, but if you really think about it, I came with something different. Look, what I do, Helen did, you know, Katrina did, Madhuri ma'am did. They did that, but I tried to add a bit of spice, a bit of my identity to it, and kind of just shift the attention towards performance-oriented dance numbers instead of just sexy dance numbers.
Yeah.
You might not replace someone, but they will always try to make you that replacement or get someone to replace you. So for me, that's why I wanted to open different lanes. And anyways, like, I'm not just one multi-dimensional. You know, I love to dance, sing, and act, and I want to do all three. And I always use Jennifer Lopez as someone who inspired me. You know, the way she just created her brand as a performer. Another thing was the whole idea of actors being in songs in Bollywood but not singing them, but kind of being the face of it. The international community didn't get it. So for the longest time, when I'm trying to venture into my singing career, they'd be like, oh yeah, but you sang Garmi, right? You sang Dilbar. I was like, no, and I have to explain the concept. And they're like, what?
They're like, but Ariana sings Popular and Wicked. Why aren't you singing Go
Yeah,
Me?
yeah. So they don't get it. So I have to explain to them. And then, so to just open up a new market in the Middle East, in the US, in the UK as a singer took a lot of, you know, making them understand that that's not me, but I'm that performer. But this is how I sound. This is my vibe.
You have to be a very smart person to enter the entertainment industry and understand that this is not a business forever unless you can future-proof yourself. And I think quite often when people enter a creative field, they become so immersed in just the creatives of it that they forget that they're going to need to earn money in 20 years' time. They're going to need to find... So when did those kind of cogs kind of click together for you that I have to think about this as a career for life and not just live in the moment of being the Dilbar girl, of being this or being that?
I would say like when I started featuring in these songs that were breaking the internet and helping in the film's success or box office, I was seeing that. I was like, oh wow, like I'm doing these songs for free, and then, you know, everybody's earning out of it, you know, whether it's the label earning from the YouTube revenues or the streams. I mean, even though I'm not singing the song, but still my name is on it. Or whether it's the films, you know, earning from the hype of a successful song. And what I earn obviously is when I do shows and events, and thank God that that's there. But I'm like, there's no long-term revenue that will ever come from that. There's no IP, there's no publishing, there's nothing. So, and whatever, it is what it is. So instead of me fighting the system, I just thought, let me find another way out for me where I can still do that because I love doing that. And I'm so grateful for those opportunities, don't get me wrong. But obviously, like as an artist, you have to think about sustainability and security. And that's why I thought, okay, I have to make my own content. I have to open up my own YouTube channel. I have to make my own music. I have to have publishing rights in these music that I'm putting out. And royalties, all these things are so important because I'm trying to build a legacy for my future and my kids in the future. Like, I don't want to be someone who, like, obviously when I have a family and I have kids, I'm like, oh, well, I was a Dilbar girl. And then it's like, okay, mom, like, where's the money? And I'm like, well, I don't got money. You know what I mean? Generational wealth is really something that I'm trying to focus on.
Quite often, people who pursue careers in the arts, they don't think about these things. They don't think about where is the money coming from. This is really important stuff for people to know, right? I mean, what advice would you have for aspiring now singers? We've spoken about aspiring actresses and dancers in the past, but aspiring singers of how to make this a real thing.
Look, you don't, like, for example, I'm not a vocalist. You know, I don't sing really well. I'm a vibist. I give good vibes with music, you know, so I'm not an Adele. And a lot of singers aren't, you know, we just sound good, like, as a vibe, you know. We're not going to be singing an opera song for you. But what I say is that if that's how you are, then make sure the other departments are fulfilled. Make sure your aesthetic, make sure your packaging as a brand, make sure your music videos are delivering, make sure you're working on your dance, make sure you're working on how you speak, media training, develop yourself as an artist as 360. And of course, persistence. Like, I've been doing this for like 9-10 years, and you have to be persistent. You will get a lot of flops, you will get a lot of no's. Things are not gonna like go the way you plan it. When I was releasing Arabic Dilbar, because that was the first song I sang and produced, when I put it on T-Series, I told my Moroccan manager, I said, Amin, we have to put it on T-Series because I don't want to be embarrassed. I don't want to see low views on the song and then be considered a flop. And then there is this whole wave about me. This is not the right time. Let's give it to T-Series. It is the biggest channel in the world. When we gave it to T-Series, obviously it did 15 million, 10 million, 20 million, all these numbers. So it was considered a hit, and I felt secure and I felt happy. But when I went on to do my next single, Pepeta, which was the Afro single with Rayvani, my manager was like, listen, you have to put this on your YouTube channel. And I'm like, no, what if it doesn't get good views because my channel is so small? And you know how it works. I
Yeah.
don't want to be embarrassed. People are going to say she's done. 15 minutes is over. He's like, no, it's not about that. It's the bigger picture. When you put this on your channel, automatically you own this content. Automatically this channel will get a boost. You will grow your subscribers. This is for longevity. And I was like, wow, he's right. It's the bigger picture. We're always looking at fast fame. We're always looking at validation, immediate validation, but it's really not about that if you want to be smart.
At what point did you realize that you had regained the power and control in your life? Because Bollywood, in any capacity, I'm not just talking about for an actress, for an actor, even for any technician, it strips the power of you from you because you're working towards something else. You're working towards somebody else's vision. They know what they want from you, and they're paying you to do that job. But
Or not, but yeah.
or not, yeah.
Listen, it's the hustle.
It's the hustle. So at what point in the last 2 years did you feel like, oh, I finally feel like I'm in control again?
I would say when I did the track with Zach Knight, Dirty Little Secret. So it was IFA and it was the day of the release. And I told them, like, we have to, like, my release date and IFA's happening the same day. I want to perform this song on stage. So the minute they said yes to me and I was on stage and the arena was packed with people and I had my contemporaries and different people from the industry sitting there. And a lot of the people that never really entertained me were sitting right there in the front row or second row. And that was me performing a song that I sang in, music video that I produced, and it was an independent release, was very empowering because these are people who like always said, oh, she's just a dancer, just like she can just do a song or that's it. This is the kind of stories I want to tell people to inspire them. Like, okay, the stories of like, I moved from Canada to India and I struggled for so many years and I made it. That's nice, but where is the inspiration post success? Because sometimes people feel like after you're successful, you're not relatable anymore. You're not really going through the struggle anymore. But people need to understand that every time you open a door, there's another door shut right in front of you. So you got to open another one and another one and another one. And it's literally like a maze.
It's an ongoing process of challenges.
When I got called for the World Cup in 2022 to sing with some other lovely ladies, the anthem Light the Sky, I was like, oh my God, like, yes, this is it. This is the value. This is where I want to be. I want platforms like this because I deserve to be in platforms like this. And when I performed at the closing ceremony, and like I'm sitting in the sidelines waiting for my turn to enter, and I entered last, so it was right on me, and I'm performing Like the Sky in this stadium, and I know billions of people are gonna watch, and one of the most historic games ever is about to be played by Messi. He's gonna win the World Cup. Imagine that was me. That's so crazy. So that was some sort of realization that, the majority of people really didn't entertain me, and to see myself at the World Cup and say, well, there are people who actually value what I bring to the table was the most empowering. That's when I changed. I changed completely.
And what was a tangible change of that when you went back to Mumbai after that? Like, what was a tangible change? Like, what did you find yourself being able to say, maybe, that you weren't able to say before, do that you weren't able to do before?
What exactly happened to me when I came back is first, I stopped being so sensitive. I stopped crying about things because I was a crier. Like everything would, like I would be hurt by a rejection. I'd be hurt by doors not opening. I'd be hurt by the gossip that people would say about me. Things they would say about me really, really hurt me. But suddenly I'm like, oh my God, all these things don't matter, because I realized that if you're going to say no to me and you're not going to allow me to do something, you're not going to give me an opportunity, then I will make those opportunities myself. I have the resources. I'm smart. I can talk. I can sell myself. I don't need anyone else to do that for me. And I stopped relying on people. I stopped relying on agencies. I stopped relying on, producers and directors. I just stopped. And some of them would come to me and be like, hey, can you do a song for a film of mine as a favor? And we promise you a role in the next film. And they never do that. You know how many directors have done that to me? They would be like, just do this for me, please, and we'll give you a role in the next one, and they disappear. So now I stopped relying on them. I'll do it if I want to. I don't want anything in return, and that's just how I'm rolling.
And then once you kind of leave that space as well, not leave that space, but take a break.
I'm still there. I'm not going anywhere.
Let me rephrase. When you take a pause to, say, for example, work on the music. Say you did a writing camp last year, right? So you've taken a break. You're not there. You're physically not there.
Oh, I'm there.
Okay.
Oh, trust me, if you talk to everybody, they will tell you it's shocking how in the day she is in Dubai doing the writing camp, and the next day she's in Mumbai, you know, doing like a audition or shoot, and then the night she flies back to finish the writing camp. I will not leave. Trust me, I don't take breaks. I don't even sleep. I don't even have a personal life. I don't even eat. Like, no, I'm not going anywhere because Haroon, look, this is the spicy side of me, okay? And everyone knows I have a spicy side. But I know what's going on. You know, they're trying to wait for me to just turn my back for a little bit and they become fill up that void. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to do everything. I'm going to do Bollywood. I'm going to do, you know, my international music. I will put one foot here, one foot here. I'm not going anywhere. No way. I'm not going anywhere.
Good for you.
Leave it for the little kittens? No.
Good for you, because that's exactly what I was going to ask you, because there was a period of about, let's say there was about a year, right? There was a year of no Bollywood music videos. Not
That
films.
was because I was doing films. So
you
I
were
was
doing
shooting,
Mudgone.
Yeah, I was shooting
Yeah.
Mudgone.
Yeah.
I was shooting
Crack.
Be Happy,
Yeah.
Crack. And
Yeah.
I had 3 schedules merging and it was insane. So there was really no time to do any of that.
When you took that moment to focus on the acting work, and you were so good in Mudgone, we've spoken about that as well. You were so good in that. I actually rewatched it over the Christmas holidays and you were just fantastic. It was really nice. But when you did that, there were lots of people who came in and they did the songs and they did the dances. And then you drop a payal or you drop a eye high and you're like, let me show you how it's done.
Period. You already know. Listen, let me tell you something so funny. A lot of girls in the industry think I'm arrogant, but I'm not. I'm just real and I'm confident and I know what I bring to the table. It's like if I don't know anything, at least I know how to do these songs. You know, there's a way of doing them. There's a way of performing. There's a presentation about it. There's a way of executing choreography for these songs. And trust me, they're good, but I know.
You're like, they're good, but I'm better.
I'm like, no, trust me, like, because you know what it is? They do films too. And I have a lot of respect for some of them because some of them honestly are my seniors, right? And they do films and they kill it as main leads. And then they come and do songs and they're allowed to do both. And then I do songs. And when I want to do main leads, they make it so difficult for me.
Yes.
So this is where my spiciness comes from because I know what it is. It's not fair. So my logic is that, okay, so cool. Everyone should be allowed to do songs. Everyone should act. Because like I said, artists are multidimensional. But it should be fair for everybody. But when I see these songs, you know what I like about them? That the girls are actually coming out and doing, you know, being confident and being sexy and trying to perform. I love that. What I don't like is when everybody starts using my name as a marketing tool. So when they sit in tables to market a song, they're like, "Are kya karna hai, kya karna hai? Ah, Nora ka naam le lo. Let's compare karo. And I don't like that. That for me is all of the PR agencies are doing it. They'll be like, okay, Gana aa raha hai, cool. So we'll be like, Nora ka career khatam hai. She can eat 100 Noras for breakfast.
Oh, those captions
You know
are
what I mean?
such a
And
joke.
I know who does that. And I know how much you got to pay to do that. I get all the PR packages. I see that, you know. And a lot of people try to convince me to do that too. And I'm like, I'm not doing that stuff. I'm not comparing myself to anybody. I'm not bringing anyone down. If a song is supposed to work, they're gonna praise me for my talent. They're not gonna be excited to replace another person. That's just ridiculous. So what I saw throughout the year last year was, especially when I had my ankle injury, I was down for 3 months and I was sitting at home. All I was seeing is that whenever a girl would release a song and some of them were good.
Which ones you like?
I'm not saying which one I liked, but some of them, you read between the lines, some of them were really good and very classy. Wow. Okay.
There was one very good one.
Yeah. And some of them was diabolical. Okay. Very degenerate. And they would go and pay their PR agency to be like, please, like, let's put Nora's picture and my picture and be like, you know, Nora's done and I'm the new Nora. And don't do that. That's ridiculous. I don't do that. You know what I mean? Just because I don't have anyone to pick up the phone and be like, please, ye mat karna, like, nikal do, it's not good. Doesn't mean that you can ride over me. You know, it's not fair. So
Stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane and be nice about it.
Yeah.
Be respectful. Let's respect each other. So when I was sitting with that ankle injury and I'm reading and seeing this stuff, I was like, yeah, Nora's done? Okay. Wait till my ankle is better. Wait till I can walk. And I promise you, when I went to shoot Payal, and I wasn't even fully recovered yet. I wasn't fully recovered. But I was like, no, this is the time. Before the year ends, before 2025 comes in, I need to send a message.
And it worked. It worked. The last quarter of 2024 was a great reminder to anybody who might have been like, where is Nora?
Yeah.
She's right here.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. But you know what? Like, what I like about these kind of conversations, the industry is a competitive space. And let's be real, everybody's trying to bring everyone down. Everyone's trying to take someone's place. And then when people like talk to you or to an interviewer, or when they talk to each other in the industry, they're just very sweet and nice. And I'm like, girl, you know you're trying to replace this person.
You were at all these parties over Diwali, and then even a couple of weeks ago, I saw you at a party 2 weeks ago, and I was thinking, how is she in the same room as these people?
Well, you know what's funny? It's my sense of humor. They know I'm spicy. Everyone knows I am, and that's what makes me different. You know what I mean? A little bit of spiciness is not wrong, but I do confront them sometimes. Like I had to confront one girl who was talking about me. You know, I had to, put her in her place. You know what I'm saying? So, like I will not be a pushover or a doormat.
I want to bring it back to snake before we leave. If there's a snake in your life, it often means it's somebody you don't trust.
Oh, yeah.
Is not very nice, is not very loyal.
Backstabber.
Backstabber. I mean, you live in a city full of snakes most of the time. So.
That's why I'm spicy.
I'm going to ask you some snaky scenarios. I'm going to ask you some snaky scenarios, and you need to tell me if the person in this scenario is a snake.
Okay.
Or you're okay with it.
Okay.
So, you've auditioned for your dream role, Nora. You've put everything into this, and in the audition room, you've seen a fellow colleague also going for the same role. A week later, you've heard nothing. So you message your friendly colleague, asking them if they've heard anything, and you get completely blanked, only to open Pink Villa and see that they've bagged the role. Are they a snake for not getting back to you?
Definitely. Honesty is the best policy. Be transparent. You know what the hustle and the struggle is like. We all know how it feels like. So definitely that person is a snake.
They should have told you.
because you're moving funny. Like, why are you moving funny?
But sometimes you have contracts, right? Maybe they were like, oh.
I have contracts, and there is nowhere in the contract that says you cannot tell a co-actor that you're signed to film.
Have you been in this situation?
I have, but not with an actor, because I never really had like friendships with them like that. But I had this with agencies where they would push me for something, and they would say it's gonna happen, and then make me audition and do all that, and then I'd keep asking them, hey, what happened? And they'd be like, I have no idea. They didn't get back. But they actually pushed another girl and got it locked for another girl and made me sit for months wondering what's happening instead of just being honest so that we can move on. You know, we got to keep it moving.
The same agency?
Yeah, they did that to me so many times.
I hope you dropped them.
I did drop them.
Good.
I did.
You and your ex broke up a while ago, but your closest friends know the ins and outs of that relationship. All the heartbreak, the toxicity, they know all of it. But now you found out that one of your friends has been invited to your ex's wedding and is attending it. Is that friend a snake?
Snake.
Straight up.
It's a cobra.
What would you do in that scenario?
Nothing, I'll cuss her out.
Would you cut her off?
I'll cuss her out, then I'll cut her off because I have to say mean things first to the person so they feel hurt.
You need to get it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's no space for toxic people in Nora's life.
No, see, look, I'm toxic.
What does that mean?
It's like a fancy toxic person. I'm like nice toxic, you know? But like there's a different type of toxic which is like destructive toxic and borderline, dangerous toxic. That's not me. I'm just toxic.
You are in a new relationship and you take your partner to a family Eid party.
Would never happen, but okay.
Could be. You might be engaged by that point.
He has to be married to me by that time.
Engaged can go to...
Okay, engaged, fine.
Yeah, engaged to family Eid party. And you've given him the lowdown on who to trust, who secretly hates you behind your back, all of it. Only for him to go and spend the entire evening with that one cousin that you warned him to stay away from. Is he a snake?
Snake. Or he's stupid. One of the above. Or all of the above.
What if he was getting information out for you? What if he was like, he was doing it for you?
No, because what if that cousin's trying to get with him?
Oh.
And these guys ain't loyal.
Oh, some are, Nora.
Okay.
Don't generalize.
Fine. Well, you shouldn't talk to that cousin then.
Okay. That's not the snake in your song Snake with Jason Derulo.
No, the snake in my song is actually me. I turn into a human, from a cobra into a human. And my moves hypnotize you because I move like one.
Can I tell you, for the last 2 weeks since the new year, you've been putting out snake emojis on your stories and snake emojis everywhere. And honestly, I was thinking, like, who is she making digs at on her story? Like, just...
A lot of people thought that. They thought I was referring to, look, I have a lot of snakes around me. Don't get me twisted. But it's not, I don't give them that much attention or energy or even a platform. It was literally to create hype.
Nora, thank you so much.
I love talking to Haroon.
I love talking to you as well.
Yeah.
Thank you. All the best.